Action! Action!
Well, Serum is, I would say, to define it, it's allegorical film noir.
You know, the mayor's nephew was among the casualties this time. He was one of us, Steve.
Writing the script for Serum, I think, came from deep within in terms of the fact that I think I always kind of had a Serum script in me, just from my observations of society around the world. So I kind of just put that down on paper in a very allegorical form and wrapped it in a film noir.
When Chidi, came up with the vision for the film, I thought it would be an awesome project to work on, and that's, one of the things that motivated me to get on board.
Serum to me is pretty much a film noir detective story, but with sort of political undertones. It kind of reminded me a lot of sort of like the Alan Moore stories and some of those old sort of interesting sort of comic book-ish kind of stories.
The more I can understand about the character, the better it is. I think I can portray the character, and I definitely would run through the entire story like a lot in order to help me get into character and understand the differences between him as a younger character and an older character and his older self. The similarities and the differences between him and the other characters that you see in the film, in Serum. Definitely getting into the mind of the character, why, who the character is, what is he trying to do, and with like the flashbacks, like who he was as a younger kid, and how he's changed.
Well, the Red Scarlet is much more, I feel like she's much more romanticized, like in terms of her being, revenge-driven or being goal-driven, whereas Elizabeth Wright is she's a bit more normal. She's still strong, but she's a bit more normal, whereas Red Scarlet is a bit extreme. I feel as though there's a lot about relationships and trusting people and, putting your trust in someone who you think believes in you, and then when they don't, what happens when that crumbles, when that trust crumbles, and when you can't trust that person anymore? Who do you believe in? And who better to believe in than somebody who believes the same thing you believe, which for the Red Scarlet is Steve.
I saw the character of Jeff Lachlan as, first of all, emotionless, which isn't difficult for me because I'm told that's how I come across anyway. So I like that part of him, that is very subtle, very stoic. It wasn't unlike, except for the sinister part, it wasn't unlike someone that I've been characterized as, emotionless, which I'm not, but that's how I come across. And I played other parts similar to this, an authoritative character that has a sinister side and a good side as well, which we all have, which is another reason I like the whole concept of the movie.
My background as an artist kind of gave me the opportunity to storyboard the movie the way I wanted to. The way I approach filmmaking is every frame, every kind of scene is a picture in itself. So I kind of wanted to make sure that the compositions of those frames were dictated by me beforehand in storyboard format.
The whole concept of having like a film noir concept that's futuristic at the same time was really interesting to me. I found that kind of fascinating, having flying vehicles that kind of looked retro, the subdued colors that's characteristic of a film noir. I thought, it was an interesting concept.
The amount of pre-production that Chidi in particular did for the project was quite impressive, and he storyboarded the whole thing, and seeing the storyboards and the character designs, the wardrobe designs, sort of the period piece aspect of the story was really interesting, and I think that more than anything else sort of attracted me to the project.
In pre-production, like I said, I storyboarded and did a lot of conceptual art for the movie to give all the faculties involved in the movie a clear vision of how I wanted the picture to come out. Now, maintaining that through production became quite a chore.
Being, the first project of this size and of this type, that I've ever really worked on, it was definitely a challenge, just corralling people together, getting everything to work together like a clockwork. It was challenging, somehow, some way we got it done. It was elbow grease all the way.
This was a sort of low budget effort, and so we tried to sort of limit the amount of like locations and stuff like that in the project, but we were still able to have some sort of like an interesting concept. Most of the actual movie takes place in an office, but the interaction between the characters in that office and sort of the way we focused on particular objects in the office, I thought was quite interesting. Because we had done a lot of storyboarding, we had done a lot of conceptualizing of the story, and also from the strength of the script, a lot of people sort of responded very favorably to the project. In addition to that, the passion that Chidi also brought to the project as well made people realize that that this is a project that they wanted to work on, even though we didn't have the kind of budget to pay them for their services.
It was wonderful working for Chidi. He was demanding, but demanding in a very pleasant way. I've heard it said that the way to get what you want in the film business is to be a pleasant pain in the ass. And Chidi was pleasant throughout the filming, in as much as he insisted on doing things the way he wanted it. He was never antagonistic, and working with Chidi was a pleasure. I like to say it was, it was a challenge, and there were eruptions, but there just weren't. Even once when I complained about the smoke, he was very diplomatic and found a way to have me continue when.
I think it was really cool. Definitely love listening to his accent for sure. And Chuck's one of the producers on this. It was a lot of fun, getting to work with him. Especially this was probably the biggest film that I've ever gotten to work on.
Chidi was awesome. I think Chidi's passion is really, it's really, really good. It makes everybody excited. It makes everybody feel comfortable. He's just, you can see it that he has such a passion for his work, and he has such a passion for everything he does, and that really is great to have around the set. It really makes everything that much better.
The visual effects aspects of the movie I always knew was going to be a challenge, mainly because of the budget we had to work with, and I was warned about that in the beginning, but I still wanted to make the visual effects as expansive and immersive as possible. In the end, I think that the VFX in the movie kind of bed the fact down that we are in 2067, and it is a different world that the movie's set in terms of the visual aspects of the movie.
We plan to expand the story and deepen the characterizations to work on a feature-length version of Serum, and we've already started some pre-production work on that as well, sort of preconceiving some of the ideas that we want to have in the feature.
I think the outcome will speak for itself, So you have pretty much everyone involved in a project came with a high degree of passion. The product will speak for itself because of the quality of people that are involved in the production.
Well, the world of Serum is definitely due to be expanded. That's currently in the works. We have created I feel a very strong world, one which many different ingredients can be put in to change the scope of the world. So we definitely plan on expanding the story to make it into a feature-length film. That I think will be something very, very special, to see the characters and their associates expanded and to see more of the Serum world.